Next one, I'll say Jets at Giants -2.5. However, this is both of their home stadiums, so basically a neutral site.
New Jersey.
The battle for the Meadowlands, New Jersey. Giants are 3-point dogs with 71% of the bets, yet the Jets have 52% of the money, giving them a 23% sharp edge. I think this is a bit overreaction from the public on the Giants, where they ended up looking good against the Commanders. However, I think part of that is Tyrod Taylor just having a little bit more experience in these spots. I don't know. I lean Jets here with the sharp differential. I think this is a great spot for them to cover against a bad Giants team with a backup quarterback. Their defenses look great. The Jets, that is, the run game is really picking it up. And yeah, I think this is a neutral game where the Jets fans will out-drunken the Giants fans and get their boys to cover.
Do you know who the lowest scoring offense was last season?
The Jets?
It was the Denver Broncos at 16.9. But the Jets were right there with them at 17.4. Do you know who was pretty close to them?
The Giants?
They ranked in the bottom. The Giants were in the bottom half. They're at 21.2.
Okay.
The Giants have gone down this season from 21.2 to 12.1 points per game.
Wow. That's crazy to hear, because the Giants were such a good team covering the spread last year, and to hear that is kind of wild. But
I knew the Giants struggled scoring the ball last season. I thought that having that up was going to indicate it'd be lower, but 21 point whatever it was to 12.1 is a huge drop off. The Jets are 18.8 for what it's worth. So for me, I don't care who's playing quarterback for the Giants. I don't think they're going to score points. And for me, it's, do we think Zach Wilson's going to show up and pour it on? Because I don't know if he's going to. They're coming off a bye. The Jets are. So maybe they came up with a really strong game plan to go against the Giants for the battle in New Jersey here. But I like the under a lot. I really do. And it's moved. We're getting in a bad number. It opened at 39. It's now 36.5. But
it's so ugly.
Do you think it's going to move more? It could. It really could. I mean, not everyone, but the money agrees with us here. We got 75% of the money, making a 26% sharp differential. Only 23,000 bets right now, so that'll go up a lot, especially for a New York versus New York game. That game's going to get six-figure number of bets easily. But I really like the under here. I just think this is going to be such a boring game. And these New Yorkers are just going to get absolutely obliterated tailgating for this game.
Yeah, I think the story here. I think the story here is absolutely how drunk which fan base gets more drunk is going to end up winning this game. At the end of the day, the question becomes: is Tyrod Taylor better than Daniel Jones? And do they just need to the Tyrod Taylor has led this Giants team to play pretty well, and I would say maybe the Commanders' offense and the Giants' defense probably won them the game last week, but he's a game manager and he's getting it done what he needs to be done. So I said I lean Jets, and I still do lean Jets. However, I don't know if I love it. Like this game is probably going to stay close, and this is another great teaser spot with such a low total. But I don't know. I lean Jets, lean the under, despite it being crazy towards the under.
Dude, 12.1 points per game is like embarrassing. That's really bad.
That's
like
insane.
The Iowa Hawkeyes score. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I need to look that up. I should have had that side by side while I was looking at last year to this year.
Yeah, that's
like my little slight Denver Broncos dig. I just slid in there. I was like, it was actually the Denver Broncos, but
yeah, I should have known the Broncos. The Broncos' offense was horrible last year.
Yeah, I mean. They're at 21.1 this year. They're like the Broncos of the 2022 Giants, just in 2023.
They just flipped. Okay. Anyway, this episode comes out every Friday, and we talk about the unique public betting trends that only we talk about and have. So thank you guys for tuning in and listening. And as always, let us know on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube. Now that we post these to YouTube, what your comments are, what you think, if you want to hear things differently. But yeah, thanks for listening to us blabber about sports, and we'll see you next week when we talk about our wins. Right, Andy?
For sure. And be sure to check out our new UFC podcast, Pilsners and Prelims. You can catch myself and Rick on that podcast, releasing every Wednesday whenever there's a UFC card. So we had a preview out for UFC 294. Nothing this week because there's no UFC card, but we will have the UFC Sao Paulo card coming out on Wednesday. So take some of these winnings from NFL and start to get ready to put them on the UFC fight night that's going to be in Brazil. It should be a lot of fun. And Rick and I our Sundays and Mondays are overloaded now with research since we record on Tuesday. So can't wait to hear y'all's reactions to that. I know a lot of people have been asking us for MMA content. Where had the UFC write-ups gone? Where has this been for UFC? Because we had a pretty big UFC presence last year and early this year. But we are back in podcast form. Be sure to find us on wherever you listen to your podcast, as well as on YouTube. Subscribe to Happy Hour Sports on YouTube. Hopefully you guys are watching us on YouTube right now because I think DJ and I are both having a great air day. So be sure to check us out. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us any feedback you got. And last but not least, the boys bet better with beer.